Merry meet, guys. Welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I am your Wednesday host, Houston, and this week, week 17, we are sharing a spell. It's a share spell week. Um, on this video, I wanted to not only just share a spell, but I wanted to share a formula or a powder, a recipe, so to speak, that you could use that is a potent ingredient in the spell that I'm going to show you later on. And that recipe is I've kind of amped up the regular hot foot powder, so I call this pants on fire powder. It gets people out of there quicker, but it could just be the feet of Hades powder if that's what if you want to go that route too, instead of just regular hot foot. But basically, what I did is I added my standard hot foot powder mixture, which may not be standard to some, because usually the standard for hot foot powder is sulfur, black pepper, cayenne pepper, and chili flakes, red chili flakes. I don't use sulfur in my hot foot powder. I'm just not a fan of having sulfur around. I know you can use match heads as a substitute. It just doesn't feel right for me. So I kind of skip that. And what I use is black salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, chili flakes, ground mace, which is an herb. I don't know if you can find that in Walmart or a local store, and if you can't, that's optional. And I use ground rosemary instead of the dried rosemary because I think it's easier to work with, and it looks cooler. It looks nicer when it's finely ground up. And I have added in the past with very good succession powdered eggshells for protection and kind of like a mother's rage when when your mom's mad, she's mad, and that kind of adds that element into the hot foot powder. But the element that only added one ingredient to make my standard hot foot powder more than a little bit, a hell of a lot hotter, and I used ground jalapeno powder, or jalapeno powder. I don't need to say ground, jalapeno, dried jalapeno powder. Try to say that 5 times fast. And I just added that to my regular hot foot powder. It actually came out to this almost like desert sand color, where usually you see it's all like stark fire red, but the jalapeno powder made it kind of look like dirt. But this works fantastic. So how to use hot foot powder: you can sprinkle it in the way of your enemies. For people you want to leave, you can throw it on someone's doorstep. Like if you have a really nasty neighbor and they're not home, you can toss them on the doorstep. Or if you're not bold enough to do it while they're home, throw it on their doorstep. I don't suggest that. Don't do that. The best magic has always worked in secret. It's some advice from me. Don't need to go around telling people what you did, unless you're doing a psychological curse. Then those are fun. But another video. You can, what I have done before with hot foot powder, and it's worked amazing, is like you're doing a freezer spell, write the person's name on a piece of paper, fold it away from you 3 times or once if you want to, just fold it, put it in a bag with some water, and add the hot foot powder in with the water. Seal the bag off like a Ziploc bag, shake it up really good so the hot foot powder is mixed in with the water and it's kind of a red color, and throw it in the freezer. The hot foot powder and the water itself freezes the target so they don't do anything to you, but it also adds a burn element to the target that you have put in the freezer. So in my case, when I used it, the person got mysteriously sick. They didn't die, but they got mysteriously sick where they were a chest infection and they couldn't really talk. So the part of them that I wanted to stop was their mouth, because they were lying about me to my boss and basically ass kissing, telling the boss what I was doing to benefit the company they did. So they were stealing all my credit. So I did that, and she couldn't talk for a week. Yeah, we had a lot of girls, so people I don't know. And I really don't care if the person's watching or not. Don't care. She's no longer here. She moved out of state. She's no longer in the area. But YouTube's accessible to anybody, so I really don't care. But So yeah, so that's my. There's a lot of ways to use this. You can Google, you can research many ways to use hot foot powder, and I'm going to show you another way to use it. Um, I don't have my props with me, but this is a variation of a spell that I've written down in my little black book. But it's not a spell that I came up with. It's a spell that I got from Dorothy Morrison, from when she sold spell candles that were already spell taper candles that already had like the spell on the outside. All you had to do is take the wrapper off, light the candle, read the spell, charge it with energy from the spell, and it'd be done. Um, I love those, and actually, I think I have one of the pieces of paper I had stuck in here. But this is the It Sucks to Be You spell. So what you need for this is a picture of the target. It's against a person, like if someone is throwing negativity toward you, or being harmed, not throwing negativity towards you. I think being harmful. If they're being physically harmful, and you've done all the mundane things like getting away from them, calling the cops, all that jazz, and they're still abusing you, even though you're away from them, this helps them back off. This will help them back off. It's no guarantee. You have to believe in everything. You have to believe in magic for it to work. But I've done this spell, and it works awesome. So the candle that originally was red and black. It was a mixture of both, but you can just use a black chime. You can use whatever color you want to. If you know the person's astrological sign, you can use that color since this candle becomes them. So what you do with the candle is you carve that person's name or their sign, and while you're doing it, you envision the person, and then you dress the candle with olive oil or a bend over oil or a devil's shoestring oil, any kind of hoodoo malediction oil that you want to use, or an oil that you've made up your own. If you want to make a hot foot make a hot foot oil out of the hot foot powder, you can use that as well. After you've dressed the candle with oil, carve the name, dress the candle, carve the candle. Blah, 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 blah. Stop. Slow down. Carve the candle with the person's name or sign. Dressed it in oil. You pour some of this powder out on what I use as a coffee filter. Pour it on a coffee filter. It makes cleanup a hell of a lot easier, I promise. And then roll the candle back and forth until it's coated. Stick it in a holder and set it aside for a second. Now, from here on, you will need either a mirror or tinfoil, a reflective surface. And you will need either the person's name written on a piece of paper between 3, 6, or 9 times, if you want to do that, or just once, 1, 3, 6, or 9, depend your power number. Do what feels right to you, or a picture of the person, or something they have signed. And you want to set the mirror down flat on your altar, have that paper with the image of the person, or their name, or their signature. You want it face down onto the mirror. And then you stick the candle with the holder on top of that. On top of that with your herb mixture and your carving the name and all that, it gets everything going. You light the candle, and once the candle is lit, you focus your intention on that person, onto the candle for a second. Then you speak the spell, which is, and like I said, I'll write everything down in the description box, so you don't have to remember all this. I mean, it would help, but I'll write everything down. You say, I hold my ground, and the fire burns you. You can push and push and push, but you have touched the immovable wall. It sucks to be you, a waste of energy, a fruitless endeavor, for the more you mess with me, the more miserable you'll be. You can say that once. You can say it 3 times to build up power. You can say it as many times as you want for that as a spell. You let the candle burn down, and if it is tinfoil, if you use tinfoil instead of a mirror, try to get all the candle wax out of the candle holder, and wrap the tinfoil up with the remaining wax remains and the target's name, or his picture, or their picture, his, their, her, whatever, or their picture, and go throw it away somewhere. Don't throw it in the river. Don't be wasteful. I mean, like in a garbage can. Go dump it in a garbage can far away from your home, in a dumpster. You can bury it if you want to. However you dispose of spells, but since it's aluminum foil, I really don't recommend burying it. And I don't recommend throwing it to the water. So I kind of just recommend just tossing it in the garbage away from your house. And like all the spells like that, don't look back. Keep going forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed my share spell. I will write the ingredients of the powder in the description box, and I'll also write the spell down in the description box as well. If you have any questions, let me know. I know I should have had more tools to show you how to do it. My camera setup is on my computer, so unfortunately I can't make that excuse. I just didn't have all the tools at hand. And for that I apologize. But I hope you guys enjoyed my spell this week. And until next week, many blessings.